Now finally it's time to talk more about imaginary solutions. So in this video we're going to talk about what they are and when they occur. So recall standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, and the discriminant is d equals b squared minus 4ac. Really just can't say these enough. So the question is, what are imaginary solutions? And the answer is they're solutions that involve the imaginary unit I. And remember, the imaginary unit I is defined to be I equals the square root of -1. And going deeper into the history, the properties, and the terminology of imaginary numbers is completely beyond the scope of this course. But if you're interested in such things, I do encourage you to check it out. It's pretty interesting. And it really is a rich subject in itself, and it's enough to fill its own course, or several, really, to be honest. But anyways, beyond the scope of this quadratic equation course, so we're not going to focus too much on that. So the question, or another question, is when do we get imaginary solutions? And we've actually already answered this, but it's when the quadratic equation in standard form here has imaginary solutions when the discriminant is negative. So in general, also, if x equals capital A plus capital B times I is a solution of a quadratic equation, then so is x equals capital A minus capital B times I. And this is always the case as long as b is not equal to 0. So in other words, if we have an imaginary solution, a plus bi in a form like that, then a minus bi is also another solution to the quadratic equation. And remember, quadratic equations only have two solutions, so you have both solutions then. So for example, it will never happen that a quadratic equation has solutions x equals 1 plus 2i and x equals 4 minus I. Because if x equals 1 plus 2i is a solution, then x equals 1 minus 2i must be the other solution. And likewise, if x equals 4 minus I is a solution, then x equals 4 plus I must be the other solution. And this is true even if a is 0. So it's not true if b is 0. Okay, so this is always the case as long as b is not equal to 0. So b has to be not equal to 0 for this to be true. But if a is 0, it's still true. So for example, if x equals 17i is a solution, then x equals negative 17i must be the other solution. So these are just a few examples to illustrate the general point. And again, for emphasis, that point is, if x equals a plus bi is a solution of a quadratic equation, and b is not 0, then x equals a minus bi is also a solution.